The following is an exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the National Football League. On this episode of the Panthers Huddle, Coach Canales is here as the Panthers look to start a win streak on the road in New England. Plus, step inside TD's film room as the Panthers legend shows us some of the keys to our shutout win in Week 3. Welcome inside the Panthers Huddle.
Hi everyone, welcome inside the Panthers Huddle. Kristen Balboni alongside my very happy co-host Thomas Davis after that 30-0 win over the Falcons. TD.
KB, I absolutely had a great day on Sunday watching them go out and perform the way that they did. But hats off to our fan base. I challenged you guys going into last week's game, and I feel like you guys showed up in a big way. You just never really understand how much it means to us as players when our fans get behind us and the motivation and the energy that you guys bring to the stadium. Shout out to the Panther Nation.
And TD, of course, we were both there. I get the privilege of standing on the sidelines, and I mean, it was a sea of blue, and this crowd was so loud. I mean, really, and you know, as a defender, when that crowd gets going on third downs, when the other team's offense is on the field, just what does that mean to you guys to have that as an extra weapon in your arsenal?
It's an energy boost. It's a momentum boost, but also it creates dissension for the offense. They can't communicate. They can't change the play call. They got to really lock in and go ahead and play what they're playing, because when it's loud, everybody on the outside can't hear the quarterback. The center and the line can't hear the quarterback. And it just makes our job easier as defensive players because it almost evens the playing field. They know what the snap count is going to be. They know when the ball is going to be snapped. We have to react to what they're doing. It almost gives us the advantage. Yeah. So we absolutely love playing at home, especially when the fan base, they're loud, they're getting after it, and they're engaged with what's going on in the game. So it definitely makes a world of difference. And I told you guys that going into the last game, and it showed up in a big way. 30-0, that's a huge way, KB.
Big win at home in the home opener, big division win. But now, of course, the Panthers face a challenge in going back on the road, which did not go so well at the start of the season. You're going back on the road against the Patriots. Is there a letdown at all when you go back on the road after a big home win, or how does that play out if you're a player?
You know, for this young football team, KB, I feel like there should be a message sent to them saying, hey, you've proven what you can do. You've shown what you can do. It doesn't matter where you play it. If you go out and you execute the game plan and you do it according to what the coaches call, you can have success anywhere. And I think that really speaks to what this team is really capable of. And I hope that they were able to really see that and really gain some of that momentum moving forward, because this game is all about momentum. And if once you create it and once you have it and you keep it, it usually leads to a team having a ton of success. So that's what I'm expecting from this bunch. And it's going to be a great test against this New England team. You know, they have some great defensive players, which we'll talk about later on in this segment. But also, I feel like offensively, they create some challenges and some things that could be difficult if you allow it to be. But if you go out and execute, you can take care of what they do.
I know you're going to break down Drake May at the board a little bit later, but I want to ask you about that defense since you brought it up. Mike Vrabel, now the coach in New England, and that defense only allowing 60 rushing yards a game through 3 weeks. I got to be honest, that stat surprised me. So, TD, when you watch them, what do you see? How are they doing it?
You know, it really starts with the free agent moves that they made. When you look at this D-line, you look at Milton Williams, you look at them bringing in Harold Landry from Tennessee that actually played with Coach Vrabel. Those guys set the tone for what they do up front. And I feel like they do a great job of mixing things up front. But they just get after it. They don't go out, they don't try to come and devise these exotic schemes. They just use the talent that they have up front and they allow those guys to play. And they play fast, they play physical, and that's one of the things that you got to use against them. You got to use that against them as they get ready to fire out the ball with some play action, you know, throwing the ball downfield, getting Bryce out of the pocket. those are some of the things that we'll be able to take advantage of with this aggressive style that they play.
That's what I was just going to ask. Do you think we'll see as much Chuba and Rico as possible in this game because you want to get the play action going? You want to try to test the fact that they are so good at that run D?
Absolutely. You have to utilize it. You can't go away from it. You can't go into a game already making yourself one-dimensional. You got to figure out a way to create some balance. So like I just talked about, being able to mix play action in there. I know you have to run the ball initially to really start your play action game, but you can come out and literally fake it, make them think that you're running the ball and throw it downfield, and then that will loosen the defense up some and make them really focus in on, okay, we can't just get down here when we see certain formations. So I think that's going to be one of the things that we're going to have to play the mental game with this defense, because they have been really good, and in particular at home with what they've been able to do up front.
Well, we know that Dave Canales, these are the kind of challenges that he relishes, and we know that that offense is really looking forward to that opportunity. Okay, so we are going to be getting you ready for this Patriots game all show long, but right now, TD, let's hear from what the team had to say about this upcoming matchup.
He's athletic and he can make every throw, so it's kind of like you just got to play sound football. Like, understand that when he scrambles, he got the big arm to throw it, but also he's athletic enough to take off and run.
We'll see what happens with, obviously, they star guy in Kristen Gonzalez, so, I'm always looking for that kind of competition, so hopefully, he plays, but, we're creating a good game plan, and we'll see what happens.
To be honest, the way we starting fast, like I feel like if we start like that every week, we can really be an unstoppable force.
They have an open corner of their field. They've adjusted that stadium, over the years. It's changed a little bit. But, the northeastern part of the country has worse weather than other parts of the country. That's the best I'm going to do right now without, setting off some storm. But, that's one of the ones. Any outdoor stadium has its differences that you have to deal with. That place can be windy, and we'll be ready to handle whatever way we're going.
Coming up, Kristen Balboni sits down with Coach Dave Canales as the Panthers look for a win on the road in Foxborough on the Panthers Huddle. This exclusive presentation of the Carolina Panthers Television Network is brought to you in part by Bank of America, the official bank of the Carolina Panthers.
Welcome back to the Huddle. I am joined now by head coach Dave Canales. Coach, 30-0 win over the Falcons, division rival, first home game of the season. I know how hard this team has worked. So as the head coach, what does it mean to you and this team to be able to come away with such a fantastic result?
Yeah, I'm so proud of the men. Just the hard work that's gone into it, the focus, the intentionality, being accountable, learning the lessons as we go, and to come together and really play in 3 phases with their hair on fire, and just I challenge the guys, like, let's come out of this game where we don't give them any freebies. Where the team has to work for everything. Let's make them work for it, by executing, by playing our assignments, by rallying up, making tackles, offensively by making the plays, blocking, just being clean, play clean football, and let's see what happens. And we were all really fired up about the result.
You had 2 new guys in there. We talked about this, Cade Mays, Chandler Zavala coming in, of course, for Austin Corbett and Robert Hunt. How did you feel about the way in which they played? They
did a solid job. I think they'd both sit here and tell you that there were some plays they'd like to have back in terms of how they reacted to a movement or how they could have come up to the second level a little smoother. That's going to come with just playing together, playing with each other, and having that muscle memory of how to respond when the picture does change. But besides that, a solid day in pass protection, and then they were really physical in the run game.
I have to ask you about one moment in particular. There was a 3rd and 3 where Teteroa McMillan got about this high off the ground to high point that ball. First of all, did you know that he could get that high? And then as a coach, when you see him go and make that play, what do you think? What goes through your mind?
Well, he's got volleyball background.
He does.
So he's an outside hitter. And my daughter, Ashby, who plays volleyball, said, "Man, I would love to set for T-Mac just once."
We're going to make that happen.
Kind of knew, and he said he's open to it. And I said, "No, not during the season. You don't get to do that." But I think it's just players making plays. And in that moment, Billy Bowman, I thought, covered the route pretty good. And that happens. And defenses can kind of extrapolate based on your formations what concepts might be coming out. But it was trust from Bryce to give the big guy a chance up top, and he lifted and made the play for us, and we were able to extend that drive.
I know you guys are deep in prep for this Patriots game, so you go back on the road. The Patriots are hungry for their first home win. How do you keep this momentum going in a hostile environment?
It comes back to the fundamentals and just execution, the things that we've been harping on as a group, keeping each other accountable to and advancing our football, the basics of it, tackling, blocking, assignment football. That's the same thing. That will travel well. That travels well if we can just execute and eliminate the explosives and take care of the ball. We're going to give ourselves a chance to win every week.
The Patriots actually rank second in the league in rush defense. So how can our run game attack what they do so well?
Yeah, be balanced and making sure that we can throw the ball out of known run formations, and also so we can make sure that we're getting to the right runs at the right time, which Bryce has done a fantastic job. Didn't get to talk about Bryce last game, but the way that he managed the game, the way that he took opportunities to throw the ball down the field when he did, the way that he got the ball out quickly, and the way he got us to the right runs, it's going to be about that.
Well, I apologize. You're right. There were so many things to cover in that last game, but Bryce, what, it seems like he's improved every single week. What was the biggest takeaway that you want to see him continue on in this Patriots game? Yeah,
just knowing when he can take risks, and when it's the right coverage to take that shot, when we're in the right area of the field to take that shot, when he just needs to get it to number one, get it to the check down, or go take off and run, which he did a great job of. So continue to build off of that.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Drake May having a good season so far for the Patriots. What do you see from him, and how do you kind of get him off balance?
Yeah, just seeing a guy that's maturing quickly, and he's playing efficient football, and I'm sure that starts off with the head coach and being able to teach him how to just take the completion, throw it to the first open guy, and he's doing a really good job of that.
All right, so the Panthers 3 turnovers in this last game. The Patriots gave up 5 turnovers to the Steelers in week 3. How do you keep that aggressive mentality going in terms of being able to be opportunistic with the ball?
It comes back to assignments. I think turnovers are created when you're in the right position, and then you use your film study to know here comes this concept, and you just have a little bit of an edge on it. But it's about footwork. It's about having your eyes in the right place and then making the play. And then, of course, to create fumbles, it's about opportunities. And so the more chances you get to punch at the ball or rake at the ball, the higher your chances of getting one out will be. And so that's where we have to be studs about practice, continuing to attack the ball so we can see that come alive.
Coach, thank you so much for the time. We're certainly looking forward to Sunday.
Thanks, Kristen.
Up next, step inside TD's film room as Thomas Davis breaks down the Patriots and highlights our stars on defense on the Panthers Huddle.
All right, we are back here in TD's film room. Always one of my favorite segments of the show because I learn so much. I know everyone at home does as well. And the first person you want to highlight and teach us a little bit about is the North Carolina guy himself, Drake May.
Yes, KB, he has gotten better and better every year that he's been in the league. Not that he's been in here for a long time, but Drake May is a kid that's going to be all-pro player at some point in his career.
Wow.
You watch the way that he's trending, and he's definitely trending upward. But one of the things that I have noticed about Drake May is how much he loved his safety blanket. A lot like Cam Newton used to love the safety blanket in Greg Olsen.
Yep.
He's found his safety blanket in his tight ends as well. Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper have been big safety blankets for him. And as you see on this play right now, this is a play action where Pittsburgh sells out. Hunter Henry does a great job leaking out. Drake May knows without a doubt who he's going to, eyes locked in. And Pittsburgh made it easy on this play. But if you watch some of the other plays that he has throughout the course of his games, he's trying to figure out where Hunter Henry is and where Austin Hooper is. That's one of the things that this defense has to lock in on. Hunter Henry, KB, is their leading receiver, which you don't see a lot in the NFL, a tight end being a team's leading receiver.
Well, the good thing is the defense knows who he's going to go to, right? That's got to make it a little bit
They
easier.
better know who he's going to go to. They better
That's
watch
right.
the film room and check it out because we're giving you the sauce.
There you go, as always. Let's talk about that defense. You talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the show. They have got some studs. They went out and paid big money.
Big
Money for some of these guys. So what makes them worth that money?
Listen, Milton Williams is worth the bill. He's the guy that we almost had.
This close.
They ended up stealing from us. And we're going to make you pay for that, Milton, for not coming with us. But this is one of the things that he brings to the table. You see him right here against this guard. As we freeze this right now, I'm going to show you guys where Milton is. He's right here. And Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh usually is a team that has bigger body guys on their offensive line. That's just something that they love to have. But Milton is a big, strong, physical, and quick D lineman, KB. And he's going to show all of that on this play right here. If you watch, in the backfield right away, the running back, as soon as he takes the handoff, he's being met in the backfield by this large human being. So if you watch this guard right here, these are the things right here that our offensive line cannot allow to happen. Watching Milton on this play, he already loves to penetrate, but one of the things that he does really well, he plays with his pad leverage down and he gets off the ball. You don't see him on the ground a whole lot. So we have to make sure that we know where this guy is at all times. Like I talked about, they did a great job in free agency bringing him in, but Harold Landry is also another guy that I feel like is capable of rushing the passer, but he plays the run really well as well. So that's why they're sitting there as the second team, only giving up 60 yards a game in the run game.
And the thing that stuck out to me about that clip was just how fast it happened. That was all of, 1.5 seconds?
Listen, it happens like that. And you see the guard, he was committed. I don't know if that was a short yardage play, but it tells me when you see a guard blocking or trying to attempt to make a block like that, it's usually a shorter yardage play where they're just trying to pick up 1 or 2 yards, and Milton Williams was having none of that.
No, he wasn't. All right, that's their D-line, but I know you want to highlight our D-line as well.
You can't talk about other people's D-line without addressing what Derek Brown has done this season.
Yeah.
Listen, every game that I've been able to watch from Derek Brown, he's tossed a grown man out of the club. And we always say you're wearing the wrong colors. In particular, when you used to have on a white tee, you get tossed out the club, KB. And that's what DB is going to do on this play. Him and Ashawn are going to come away with a huge tackle on a guy like Bijan. This is never a good sight. Whenever you see Bijan Robinson in this position right here, with the ability to make a decision on where he wants to go. Right now, if you look at this play, you would probably say that this ends up being a significant game, right? Not against Derek Brown. If you watch this play right here, and I'm going to show you from the other angle what DB really does on this play that definitely makes him a special player. Right now, he has 2 guys, KB, committed to blocking him. 2 guys. But what DB is doing, it's like he's on the playground just playing with kids. Sitting around waiting, I'm just here just playing around until Bijan makes his decision. DB waits, he's patient, and as this play go on, watch. Look at that. Watch him take this guy, KB. And
63 ends up on the ground.
Nick better watch out. Nick Skirtin better watch out because Derek Brown is throwing grown men around and just watch the finish. They sandwiched Bijan. You never want to see your franchise type player in Bijan Robinson get sandwiched like that if you're the Atlanta Falcons. You got to take Derek Brown, Ashawn. You got to take all of these guys. And they're coming, and they want to prove themselves. And Derek Brown has been week in and week out getting better and better as he makes his return from his injury. So, KB, literally, I went back and I watched this film. He has done that in every single game where he goes and completely just tosses an
It's like his
lineman.
signature.
That is his signature move because he's doing it effortlessly. So I love to see DB getting back to his old form.
All right, when we come back, we're going to let you know we are spotlighting what we want to see in this game, what we are spotlighting. Last week for TD, it was the fans. You showed up. So what is it going to be this week? Could it involve that guy right there? Stay tuned.
Closed captioning for the Panthers Television Network is provided by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, providing premier eye and ENT care to North and South Carolina.
All right, TD, we always close things out with our Coke Spotlight. So what I want to know from you is, what are you focused on as the Panthers head up to New England?
KB, my spotlight is on looking and seeing how this young team handles success. Can they go on the road now after winning at home last week 30-0? Can they go on the road and repeat that same success without feeling like they've arrived? And that's one of the things that I'm going to be looking at in this game, because you got to understand and realize that just because you had a 30-point lead last week, those points don't carry over into the next game. You got to show up. You got to perform, in particular in a hostile environment. After we saw them play the first 2 games on the road, didn't go as well. Come back home, get rejuvenated, get locked in, and now let's see if we can start stringing those wins together.
And as you said now, I'm sure the vets are saying this is the standard.
Yes,
right?
They better be.
Speaking of vets, my Coke Spotlight is Hunter Renfrow, or specifically the Bryce Young to Hunter Renfrow connection. We were talking earlier this week, and you made such a great point that he is always open. He is one of those wily veterans that knows exactly what to do. We saw it in that Arizona game when they had 2 touchdowns. And you also told me this. You said it's only a matter of time.
Listen,
I got to credit you for this Coke Spotlight. Sure. It's only a matter of time until they connect. We've seen that connection with Teteroa McMillan, and I believe that we are going to see it with Hunter Renfrow, TD. All right, now that is going to do it for us this week. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to head coach Dave Canales. Thank you, TD. We will see you next week, but until then,
keep pounding.
You've been watching the Panthers Huddle, a copyrighted presentation of the Carolina Panthers and the NFL.